First mentioned in the Season 1 episode, Look Before You Sleep, the Headless Horse is a story inspired by the character of the Headless Horseman. Descriptions within the show tend to be second-hand, the only real encounter with the entity taking place within a dream in the episode Sleepless in Ponyville. As of now, these are the only 2 episodes to feature the entity. What we know about the being is that it takes on the form of a fully animate horse or pony, with its only distinguishing feature being the lack of any apparent head. The entity's habitat seems to be primarily forest environments, although, given how legends can spread far beyond their origin point, it is not yet known which forest within Equestria the horse is meant to call home. A suggestion attributed to the Headless Horse is the sense that the vast majority of encounters with said entity end with the unfortunate disappearance of the eyewitness. This, however, seems to be a theme carried over from other similar legends. At this point, while we can confirm the presence of mortality within Equestria, we cannot say with certainty how many ponies have actually disappeared within the country's borders without confirmation from the creators. As such, we can only regard this element of the story as a possibility. The thin membrane between the world of fiction and reality is a subtle but reoccurring theme within the world of MLP. A great number of characters occurring within the show itself reflect both outside media and, occasionally, members of the MLP fandom. Where this theme really comes to light, however, is in the character of Daring Do, who was initially believed to be fictional within the universe's context. Taking this into account, the notion of the story of the Headless Horse having an in-universe counterpart is brought further within the realms of possibility. Based on what is known about the legend in question, 4 explanations of the story come to light. The impression of hauntings is a topic that does exist within the world of Equestria. With that said, the subject is treated much the same as in real life, with little in-universe indications that such a phenomenon actually exists. Given the wide variety of fantastical subject matters we have seen, the presence of ghosts does not seem unlikely. Without direct correlation, however, this explanation remains within the realms of fanfiction. An often cited example of an animal remaining alive after decapitation comes from Colorado in 1945. The patient was a chicken who was beheaded by the farm owners with the intention of being sold as produce. Much to their surprise, the remaining body retained vestiges of life, walking around without its head for up to 18 months through a diet of liquid foods. He would come to be named Mike. It has since been revealed that a portion of the brain stem, was left behind during the decapitation. It is, in fact, not so unusual that the body of a regular chicken keeps moving after such a process, although it is unusual that the body did not die of blood loss. Thus, is it possible for an equestrian pony to keep moving without a head? Given how equines are much larger than the average chicken, with a much more complex brain, this seems unlikely, particularly when we bring up the matter of blood loss and starvation. While the Headless Horse being an actual headless horse is still hypothetically possible, the chance of its occurrence is, at best, debatable. While the name Chimera refers in particular towards a specific species within the world of Equestria, the term is generally used to cover any form of composite life form, whether from mythology or otherwise. In that regard, chimera forms are an accepted fact of life in Equestria. Notable show examples include the titular chimera, manticore, and bugbear. Even the dragon, you could argue, share some traits with such composite animals. It's in the example of the bugbear that we actually learn one or two clues in regards to composite animal morphology. Firstly, the proportions of the body parts reflect the relative scale on their original forms. Secondly, a composite animal is not limited in variety to creatures that possess a similar biology. While we can only guess at what might lead to the creation of a composite animal, given what we know, are there any creature combinations that might match the original description? The best example would be a creature whose head is indistinguishable from its neck. Based on that description, two candidates come to mind: lampreys and leeches. Both of these creatures have a flat, circular mouth, which are primarily used for penetrating skin and sucking the blood from animals. Is there a pony leech chimera form roaming the forests of Equestria? While little evidence exists in support of this creature, it is something that could conceivably occur. Although nothing like this has appeared within the show, there are a few matters in relation. Firstly, the subject of a reanimated corpse is not unheard of within equestrian society, since creatures such as zombies, mummies and vampires have been referenced or name-dropped on numerous different occasions. Secondly, the notion of a mostly inert form being given life is a subject that has already been depicted, specifically the timber wolves, which have also been shown to exhibit reconstructive properties. It is not known whether these creatures were created or resulted from the rampant magic native to the Everfree, but clearly the idea of the Headless Horse being driven by magic is far from out of the question. If the Headless Horse does exist within the world of Equestria, what do you think it might be?
Yeah, that's right, I've got one of these. It's kind of an unofficial rule in the fandom. You're going to have any kind of identity whatsoever, you really need an OC. Oh, don't worry, this isn't going to be a regular thing. Honestly, this is just here to say hi, ask you what your favourite possibility is, and if you watch this all the way through, thank you. You really didn't have to, but thanks. And I do hope this video was up your alley. Whatever that alley is. Cryptozoologically inclined brony, or alternatively an actual cryptozoology fan who is just interested in cryptozoology in fictional universes, which is fine. Exactly what I'm doing this for, really. So yeah, very niche market. Again, hope you like it. Thanks for watching, and bye.